Morant has been fined $75,000 for doing a gun hand gesture after he was already warned not to do it after his game against the Golden State Warriors. Last night, man, I watched the game live. I watched the entire game. That was an incredible game by the Miami Heat and the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies were actually losing this game, and they came back in the late third and fourth quarter. Ja Morant hit a nice game winner on Khalil Ware. And after he hit the game winner, he called Khalil Ware a pigeon, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, man, Ja Morant has been fined $75,000. And this is mainly because of his history with guns. We've seen Ja Morant flashing guns on camera outside of basketball. He's also had some violent allegations made against him. There was an altercation with him and a kid in the mall, where I guess somebody who was a part of Ja Morant's entourage supposedly did something to the kid, but nothing really came of it. Ja Morant was able to walk away from the situation scratch-free. I believe that Ja Morant said that somebody said something to his mom or something like that. Somebody let me know in the comment section. This happened like 2 years ago, so I don't really remember exactly what happened. But the reason why this happened is because Ja Morant has been suspended multiple times due to flashing guns outside of basketball, just showing guns on camera, right? And he did it against the Golden State Warriors. Adam Silver was nice enough to give him a warning, and he did it multiple times last night. He didn't just do it once. He did it like 3 or 4 times where he was doing the shooting gun hand motion last night. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. In my opinion, I think this is why NBA ratings are down. I know everybody wants to bash Ja Morant. A lot of people think Ja Morant is stupid. A lot of people think he's immature. A lot of people think Ja Morant is a fake tough guy. Me personally, man, I like Ja Morant as a player. I don't know him personally, but one thing I can say about Ja Morant is he's a superstar. He's clutch. I've seen him hit multiple game winners. I've seen him on multiple occasions bring his team back into the game to win the game. And even when he loses close games like the game he lost against Golden State, he still dropped 30-something points when he lost against Golden State. I know they lost to the Lakers, but obviously their coach being fired right before that Lakers game had something to do with it. Seems like Memphis has had some chemistry issues this season. And me personally, I don't think Memphis's coach should have been fired in the first place. But the NBA, in my opinion, bro, is just too soft, man. Like, these are grown men playing a sport, and it's like you don't want them to be passionate. Like we all know that Ja Morant ain't out here shooting anybody. Like, he's doing the hand gesture because he's hyping himself up. He's hyping his team up. And basketball is a very competitive sport. You understand what I'm saying? And emotions are very high. You know, adrenaline is very high. And, you know, these guys are just playing basketball, man. You know, we love seeing that. I like when Ja Morant does the shooting gun hand gesture after he makes a shot and one of his teammates make a shot. He's just hyping up his teammates. You understand what I'm saying? But the NBA has just gotten way too soft, in my opinion. It's really hard to watch, and I think that's why the ratings are down, because everything is a foul. Everything is a fine. You know, if the players get into any type of scuffle, they're suspended. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we gotta go back to letting men be men, right? When you look at sports like hockey, they fight damn near every game and nothing happens. You understand what I'm saying? We gotta let men be men. As long as people aren't out here, you know, hurting anybody, let them play. If there's a little fight, little scuffle, let them play. You know, if a player is doing a gesture, you know, obviously they're like, God, and this is my thing, right? Basketball is a game where you have to shoot the ball to score, right? So if a player hits a 3 and he does the shooting sign, right? It ain't like he really talking about shooting somebody with a gun, right? Like, he's just talking about, I just hit a nice shot. You feel me? Like, but I do understand that this is a sport that kids are watching, and that's not a good look for kids. I totally get that. But, you know, I think that people are blowing this out of proportion. Like I said, Ja Morant hasn't been getting in trouble lately. This is the first time he's gotten in trouble since his last suspension, where he was seen in a car with one of his homeboys flashing a gun. And I think that people are just going out of their way to continue to paint this narrative that Ja Morant is a wannabe tough guy, and he's a wannabe gangster, and a lot of people think Ja Morant is really thugging like that outside of basketball. And I don't think that's the case. I think Ja Morant is just heavily influenced by hip-hop culture. We all know hip-hop is a music genre where, the hood and gang violence and all that type of stuff is glamorized. And that's the world that we live in. Hip-hop is very influential all over the world. And, people take a lot of things from hip-hop that may not be deemed, appropriate or suitable for children, so to say. But to do that after this man hit the game winner, in my opinion, it's just not a good move, man. I don't like Adam Silver doing this. And once again, I think this is why the NBA ratings are ultimately going down. This is why people aren't really watching basketball that much in America. Obviously, people are watching the NBA outside of America, but specifically in America, the ratings for basketball has gone down a lot. You understand what I'm saying? People aren't even watching the All-Star game anymore. And this is why, man. Like, let these guys play. Let men be men. If a player wants to do a hand gesture, as long as it's not nothing sexual, let them rock. That's my opinion. As long as a player ain't out here, doing a gesture where he's doing something sexually inappropriate, I feel like it shouldn't be a big deal, because once again, you got to shoot the ball to score. If I'm Ja Morant, right, and I hit a 3-pointer and I do the shooting gesture, what's the issue? What's the problem? I'm shooting. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I got to shoot the ball to score. You feel me? Like, I mean, a lot of players in the NBA, they may not do the shooting gun thing, but they do something similar like LeBron James. We see when LeBron James hits a 3, he does like the little Spider-Man, webs in my, the little Spider-Man shit he be doing. It's all a part of the game, man. And I think that we just getting a little bit too sensitive these days, bro. Let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all think Ja Morant deserved to be fined? I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. Don't be surprised if the very next game Ja Morant does it again, because we've already seen at this point Ja Morant is a very rebellious young man, bro. He knows he's talented. He knows he's one of the best players in the NBA. He knows that the youth loves him. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. Ja Morant is not one of these players that's just going to bend over and just let the NBA tell him what he could do. It's just not going to happen, bro. He's already shown that. He was warned, and then he did it 3 times last night. Don't be surprised if he does it again, bro.